Of the Lake County Board of Commissioners, would all those who are willing please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Grant us, O Lord, light to our understanding, prudence in our investigating, foresight in our planning, sincerity in our deliberating, the grace to follow truth in our judgment. Help us to be moved in our decision, neither by fear nor by self-interest, and to do our work faithfully. May we respect the authority vested in us, for thou art the source of all authority, and may we use our directives for the common good, and for thy honor and glory. Amen. Thank you all. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler.
Here.
Commissioner Regovich.
Here.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Here. Very good. This brings us to our first public comment portion of our meeting. Do we have anyone in the audience who can address the board at this time? Anyone at all? Very good. Thank you. Madam Clerk, first agenda item, please.
In the engineer's office, resolution authorizing the Lake County engineer to enter into a local public agent LPA agreement with the Director of Transportation of the State of Ohio for the LAK Prouty Road, County Road 414 resurfacing project, PID number 115910, LCE project number 2021-016.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Discussion? Jim, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, this is an agreement between us and the state in order for them to allow us to bid and allow us to use the federal grant money that's been allocated for this particular project. So this project is ready to go and will be bid shortly.
Very good. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that our funding conduit is NOACA, Northeast Area Wide Coordinating Agency. So got to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, for this particular project, that is true. It is NOACA.
Excellent, excellent. Gentlemen, anything you want to add? Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
In the Utilities Department, resolution accepting a 3-year maintenance bond in the amount of $9,865.26 for sanitary sewers for Ridgewood Green Phase 3 subdivision in the city of Mentor, job number 21-40.
Move to approve. Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution approving plan specifications and estimates of cost in the amount of $156,588.85 for sanitary sewers for Glenbrook Estate subdivision in the city of Mentor, job number 22-22.
Move to approve. Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
And Job and Family Services Department, resolution authorizing the Lake County Department of Job and Family Services Child Support Enforcement Division to enter into a 4-day service contract with the Lake County Domestic Relations Court for child support services effective January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023.
Move to approve. Second.
Discussion? Anything you want to add there, Suzanne?
Thank you, Commissioner. These are contracts that we have had for many, many years between the, all three of these resolutions, 4, 5, and 6, are contracts that we've had for many years between the local courts and our prosecutor's office, and we are happy to continue the partnership.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Tyler.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing the Lake County Department of Job and Family Services Child Support Enforcement Division to enter into a 4-day service contract with the Lake County Juvenile Court for child support services effective January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023.
Move to approve. Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing the Lake County Department of Job and Family Services Child Support Enforcement Division to enter into a 4D service contract with the Lake County Prosecutor for Child Support Services effective January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023.
Move to approve. Second.
Discussion? None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler,
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
In the Commissioner's Office, resolution reappointing Nathan Hicks to the Lake Development Authority Board of Directors for a 4-year term commencing January 1st, 2023 and ending December 31st, 2026.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler,
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution reappointing Walter R. Siegel to the Lake Development Authority Board of Directors for a 4-year term commencing January 1st, 2023 and ending December 31st, 2026.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler,
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing execution of an agreement between the Lake County Board of Commissioners and Fair Housing Resource Center Incorporated for prior years of Home Investment Partnership Program funds.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler,
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing execution of agreements between the Lake County Board of Commissioners and various entities and organizations for the fiscal year 2022 year's Home Investment Partnership Program funds.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler,
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing the Lake County Sheriff to enter into an agreement with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Watercraft to obtain matching funds of up to $35,000 for Marine Patrol for the year 2023.
Move to approve.
Second.
And discussion, if I could just add a comment, this is another example of our Sheriff's Department doing everything they can to bring in outside resources to take as much burden off the general fund as possible, and for that we say thank you. If there's nothing further, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler,
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing execution of an agreement between the Lake County Board of Commissioners and the Lake County Fairgrounds for funds received from the U.S. Department of Treasury under the Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds, known as the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, for asphalt improvements.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Jason, I believe you have some background to share.
Yes, Commissioner, thank you. And I know we have some representatives from the Fair Board as well, but this is a yet another ARPA project that we've been working through over the past number of months. I want to thank the Fair Board for their patience as we work through the ARPA process. This will be, I believe, a joint project with utilizing the partnership with the county engineer on their road paving program. That will improve some of the roadway networks within the fairgrounds proper. I thank the Fair Board for providing some support data, some of the financial hardships that the Fair Board went through during COVID, which was a dramatic reduction in their revenue for capital projects. This was reviewed internally by myself. A write-up was provided to Amanda Gordon at Outside Legal Counsel, who wrote a concurrence letter and is in front of you today for improvements at the fairgrounds, hopefully this spring. So with that, I'll answer any other questions.
I'm going to go with the editorial first. I do want to say what a great partnership our county engineer has offered with this board and the Fair Board. Just before the Fair Board brought us concerns about imminent hazards, potholes, challenges, and Jim Gills and his team stepped up and took care of a significant scope of work. That was definitely a significant heavy lift, and again, to Engineer Gill's credit and his team, they did not hesitate to take up the challenge of how can we most effectively utilize these funds and incorporate it into their paving program to get the absolute best pricing for our Fair Board. So again, a lot of value added. So I just felt it was important to add that to the record.
Yeah, I'd like to have a few things also.
Sir.
Jason, thanks for staying on this one. We have two board members here, Jerry Murhar and Wade Crowfoot. Thank you for your patience. Glad to see this one finally going through. And of course, Mr. Gills, thank you for your support and your team. Really appreciate it.
Very good. Jason, I think that's it. Unless anybody else wants to add anything. Madam Clerk? Oh, I'm sorry. We have the Fair Board here, so yay. Welcome.
My name is Wade Crowfoot, current president of the Fairgrounds Fair Board. I'd just like to thank the commissioners, the engineers for the support in the past and their support for this project. It's really going to help us keep a safe, clean, and welcoming environment to Lake County Fairgrounds, not only for the week of the fair, but throughout the year for all the county organizations and residents and companies that utilize the fairgrounds throughout the year. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. President?
Sir.
Can I add that the fair is a unique opportunity countywide where all cities, mayors take part, and they have the announcement teams, which I'm glad to participate in every year. I have a good time with, and Mr. Merhart could probably attest that we try to make it fun.
You do.
Oh, they make it fun, all right. I got to be backup crew this year, so just kind of that fill-in for those little gaps. But oh my gosh, you and Dennis Morley are sort of this comedy team here. It's like,
We didn't have to mention his name. His head's big enough for any.
It's okay. I have this quota that I have to mention Mayor Morley's name so many times. You know.
I bet he's watching right now. Watch through your phone.
Well, he could be. You just never know.
And if I could add, that was
Mayor
my,
Tyler, Commissioner Tyler.
well, either way. So that was my first experience in the booth, and Jerry visited us, and Jerry, I had a lot of fun. So thank
Well,
you.
I could tell you had a lot of fun. That there's a second team challenging your leadership there.
I just want to know if we were the first team that you had to come and turn the volume down on.
Yes.
Okay.
No, Dan Troy.
I was going to say, it's like, wait a second. And let's not forget Sheriff Liam Bruno. He had some enthralling, little tidbits that are just memorable. Okay, as I like to say, Madam Clerk, save us.
Commissioner Tyler.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Resolution providing for the issuance and sale of not to exceed $3,300,000 aggregate principal amount of notes in anticipation of the issuance of bonds to pay costs of constructing, equipping, furnishing, and otherwise improving building facilities improvements, including any site improvements and all necessary appurtenances thereto, together comprising the County Administration Center project.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
In the Finance Department, resolution approving payment of bills as listed on the Commissioner's Approval Journal in the amount of $691,765.32.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution approving purchase orders as listed on the Commissioner's Purchase Order Approval Journal in the amount of $268,016.22.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations for various general and non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution transferring cash and appropriations within various general and non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution approving the 2023 temporary measure for funds outside the general fund.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Mike, did you want to field that one? Mike Matus, our Budget Finance Director.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, sir.
As Commissioners are well aware, we passed a temporary general fund of approximately 2 weeks ago. This is an outside fund. This is all JFS funds, utilities, engineers, et cetera funds. There's two types of funds in the outside general fund, governmental funds. These funds are special revenue, debt service, and permanent improvement funds. And then these funds account for all grants and other resources whose use is restricted, committed, or assigned to a particular purpose. And then we also have proprietary funds. That's our enterprise funds, which is utilities. I call them business type activities. And these are used to account for activity for which fees are charged to external users for goods or services, water, wastewater, and solid waste. And then we also have internal service funds, which is also proprietary funds. And it's for financing, the accounting for providing services from one department to the other. Just in comparison, 2023 projected revenues for these equate to approximately $243.2 million, and appropriations are $307.2 million. In comparison with 2022, the estimated revenues were $264.3 million, and appropriations were $285.4 million. Again, thank you to commissioners and all the department heads and elected officials for helping the preparation of the outside general funds.
Thank you, sir.
And I'd like to, Mr. Matus, thank you for taking the time to meet with me. I know I came loaded with a list of questions. I appreciate you taking the time to go through each and every one.
I appreciate you looking at the books that we provide. They're pretty thick books that we provide every year for you guys for the general fund and outside general fund, so thank you.
Indeed. Thank you, sir. All right, if there's nothing further, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes, thank you. Very good. This moves us now to our departmental reports portion of our meeting. Utilities.
Thank you, Commissioner. Now, if you've watched the news for more than about 10 seconds this week, you'll see that we have some nasty weather coming at the end of this week. And I just want to thank in advance our crews, field crews who will be out, making sure that our water and wastewater systems will be functioning and everybody will have what they need for the Christmas holiday. Also want to thank in advance all of our operators at our water and wastewater treatment plants who will be spending Christmas Eve and Christmas Day working at the plant to make sure that those continue to function as needed.
Well said. All right, if there's nothing further, moving on to Job and Family Services.
Following Randy's lead a little bit, I wanted to take a moment to thank our on-call social work staff who will be working 24/7 over the holidays, responding to reports of child and elder abuse, and wanted to express my gratitude to our staff members who will be working at our Kaylee Receiving Home to make Christmas special for all of the children who are in our custody who will be spending Christmas with our staff members. And happy holidays to all of you.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you, ma'am. There's nothing further there. We'll move on to our county administrator. Sir.
I just want to say Merry Christmas to Mike.
Wow, you've been taking lessons from the sheriff?
No, Randy beat me to the punch. With the holiday falling on a weekend, I will echo their thoughts. Mr. Gills' team, all the folks who are the sheriff's folks, everyone who will be away from their families this weekend, providing public service, excellent public service that our county residents and business have come to expect. I just want to say thank you and Merry Christmas to all those folks. So thank you.
Yeah, real quick, I am continuing on with my meetings around the county, and I had a really nice meeting last Friday with Painesville City Manager Doug Lewis and his assistant Tony. Known Tony for years, but anyhow, it was great to have a sit down face to face and go through their strategic plan. They have a lot of great initiatives they're looking at, and I wish them the best in implementing all those.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, moving on to our clerk. Madam Clerk.
Yes, I also wanted to wish everyone a happy holiday season. And also I wanted to mention that the county offices will be closed on Monday, December 26th in observance of the holiday. And also I wanted to mention that our second public hearing for the sales tax increase is scheduled for Tuesday, December 27th, here in the Commissioners' Chambers at 9 a.m.
Thank you, ma'am. Anything else for our clerk? Thank you. Moving on to legal. Sir.
Merry Christmas and no report, Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. Okay, moving on to old business. Do I have any old business coming before this board? Any old business? Hearing none, moving on to new business. Any new business?
Mr. President,
Sir?
I would just like to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. It's been quite the experience for me in the last month or so. So I hope I fit right in. I'm enjoying it, and it's been a pleasure working with both of you.
Thank you, sir.
And the staff.
Thank you, sir. Very kind. It's mutual, I assure you. All right, if there's no other new business, sir?
I would also like to thank the entire staff, the department, all our guests today. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I wish everybody the best. And I too enjoy you sitting up here, Rich, with us. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. All right, moving on to our second public comment portion. Sir, well, I'll change up the batting order just a little.
Okay, thank you. That's quick. John Music, 45 Coventry Drive. I just wanted to say thank you to all the county employees, each and every one of them, for doing what they do. You know, some of them will not be able to spend time with their families for the holidays because they've got to work. So I just want to wish all the county employees a Merry Christmas and have a happy, healthy, and safe New Year. Thank you.
Very kind of you. Thank you, sir. Mr. Massey?
Brian Massey, 8196 Rainbow Drive in Concord. Over the past few months, I've received complaints from citizens about the conduct of Lake Tran not being able to schedule, going to the senior centers or to the doctor's office, and I found that very puzzling. So I did reach out to Ben Capel of Lake Tran, and again, I must compliment him that he's been very forthright, very direct, very quick, and complete in his answers. So, but the concern that I have is that the deal has been changed on the taxpayers. Back in 2019, there was a county sales tax that was passed, and it would say 25%, a quarter of a percent for 10 years. And it said that, and I quote, officials have said that the issue would allow Lake Tran to meet the growing demand for an accessible transportation for Lake County seniors, people with disabilities, and veterans. It would also improve job access to important manufacturing corridors like Tyler Boulevard and Heisley Road. And it passed. So I sent an email to Mr. Capel, and I basically, my question was, has there been a change in any policies that would lessen the services provided to seniors? And his response was, and I quote, the short answer is yes, we did make a change. And what they did is they eliminated what they call essential trips, and they replaced it with a policy of first come, first served. And he said, and I quote, as a result of the need, driver shortages, and he mentioned that, and I'd be glad to provide this to the commissioners, but as a result, to make the unpleasant decision to move to a first come, first served system for all trips. And so they have acknowledged that they have changed their service model for the citizens and seniors. So what I did yesterday at the Lake Tran board meeting, I requested the board to consider reversing or rescinding that 0.25% sales tax that they passed in 2019, because they've changed the deal. They need to go back to the taxpayers and say, all right, this is our service model now. Will you support this service model? So I wanted to make the commissioners aware, because I want to keep, again, as a citizen activist, I don't know where I go with this. Who does Lake Tran really report to? I do know that there are 3 board members that are appointed by the commissioners, and correct me if I'm wrong on that.
I
So,
think we appoint all of them, don't we? Yeah, I'm looking over our administrator. I believe this board appoints all of the Lakeland.
so you
board.
appoint all of them then?
Yeah. I
So-
think you may be confusing us with the Lakeland board where the governor has appointments as well.
Perhaps, yeah. It's tough, we've got more boards than Milton Bradley in this.
That was actually a good one. Yes.
All right, then I'm coming to the commissioners. If you appoint the entire board, you are the controlling body of Lake Tran. So if
I
you,
could look to legal, although we appoint the board, they are a separate, and I'll let you fill in the blanks there.
They are a separate political subdivision that has their own, you appoint, but you cannot remove, except for misfeasance, nonfeasance, or malfeasance. They have their own attorney, they aren't a county board, but they are their own political subdivision, separate and apart from Lake County government. It's just that you have the appointment authority for 3-year terms.
So if I may, and I think if I hear you correctly, if Lake Tran as an organization is doing things that we do not agree with, our board appointment should reflect people that are more in tune with our level of accountability to the public. And then
where does the, if Lake Tran, I don't think any, political subdivisions should be, out on their own where they're dictating, to the citizens. The citizens should have some sort of right. I know you say, well, you can go to the state. I've gone to the state so many times, or the ethics boards, and they all say, well, this is a home rule state, so there's no help, going to the state. And they keep, pushing it back to the, and I say, okay, as a person that is trying to help the average citizens, where do we go? If we're not happy with what they're doing, do we just have to accept it? And I know I can't go to the Budget Commission because Prosecutor Colson has been very adamant that, in his opinion, once it's voted on by the taxpayers, Budget Commission can't make any changes, which basically negates, they've just become a rubber stamp then. They're not really, as I understand in reading the Ohio Revised Code, I thought the Budget Commission was looking out for the individual taxpayer and citizen, but that doesn't happen because of the stance that Prosecutor Colson takes. And maybe the Budget Commission isn't even authorized to rule over Lake Tran. But it's very disconcerting when we're looking to add another 0.5%. When we have already a political subdivision that changed the deal on the taxpayers, and they're getting 1/4%, and they're not providing the service that they said they were providing when they put the issue on the ballot. Thank you.
Well, while you're there, it begs the question, did they respond to your request for?
There was no response at the Lake Tran meeting. I will follow up with them, but there was no response at that time.
Okay. And just thinking this through, again, Lake Tran has been very good at acquiring funding, again, federal funding through NOACA. They've been incredibly competitive as compared to Greater Cleveland RTA. And I believe they just recently received a $14 million grant, which was significantly more, and I think it was actually the top grant in the nation. But to your point, I think it's worth our asking.
I can give you some statistic numbers if you're not aware, or maybe you are, but they did provide their budget for 2023, and their cash balances, cash on hand, as of 2022 is $41 million, and they are projecting through 2027 that $41 million will grow to $57 million. So that's the point that I've been trying to make, is that all of the political subdivisions keep accumulating this cash. And I know you can't use that cash for the jail, I understand that, but if there is a way to reduce future revenue for them, that the commissioners can use, with the sales tax, that would be a little less binding on the taxpayers.
Thank you, sir. Gentlemen, anything else?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, one thing, I try not to comment on public portion parts. However, in this case, I don't believe prosecutor's office serves as legal counsel for Lake Tran. Is that correct?
That is correct. We do not serve.
So although it's great that you talked to our prosecutor, if you talk to Lake Tran's legal counsel, you may...
Mr. Dines, I believe he is. No, not on this issue. I have not.
I would encourage that.
Yeah, I will. I know that the prosecutor is Mr. Colson is the attorney for Deepwood, and when I brought up, Deepwood's excessive funding, he basically recused himself and could not respond. But when I brought up the crime lab, generating $1.6 million every year, then as long as Mr. Colson, said that, he wasn't going to support anything, both the treasurer and the auditor, the budget commission, they're not going to back down, they're not going to do anything that's against what Prosecutor Colson is saying, because they don't want to be personally responsible.
But your questions that originally started about Lake Trans, I would encourage talking to their legal counsel.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Mr. Massey, I'm scheduled to go there, and I'll bring some of these questions to Ben and find out if this service change, or is it temporary? Is it until they can fix those are the questions I have in my head right now.
Very good. Thank you.
We're going to get back to the service level we expect. So.
Thank you. I appreciate you doing that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All right, continuing on our second public comment portion, is there anyone else in the audience wishing to address this board? Anyone else? All right, very good. Moving on. At this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Tyler?
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes, thank you for joining us, and please have a very merry and safe Christmas.